Another thing that's very daunting when leaving the bank is that advisors don't leave and the bank just lets that happen lightly. And then, recently I've been so impressed by the generosity you've shown in giving people your time to help them with the compliance issues and some of the attacks that are coming their way as they are leaving the banks and where they're at. And the advantage of joining in Delisle is that particularly you two have such experience. You have frankly been on the other side of the desk.
Yes.
Standing up for the banks, making it difficult for people to move to another place. So you have the playbook. You have the experience and the knowledge to help people that do want to join us on an independent basis.
I also think it's so interesting, this definition of safety, that when I talk to people and you really start unpacking what that actually means, I would argue it is much safer to do what we do in an investment counseling firm like Delisle than it would be within a portfolio structure like a bank, because of the uncertainty.
Yes.
That at the end of the day, in a bank structure, priorities change, focus changes, annually priorities change. All these things are distracting and they take away from your core mission of how you service clients. For us, we just keep building on the same strategy. We're not going to be pivoting. We're not going to be focusing on one business over another. And from a fiduciary point of view, how we invest, the type of investments we make, the regulatory environment that we're held to, all these things are all exactly the same. There isn't an advantage to a bank or an independent firm. We all have the same regulatory framework. So from a safety point of view,
Right.
I often find it interesting when you pivot. To me, it's a safer proposition within an independent counseling firm for the future.
Well, I think a concept that's probably not well understood is around what we call the custodian.
Right.
And so the custodian, whether you're at a big bank or you're at a Delisle advisory, our custodian is with Fidelity, a $5 trillion asset manager who actually holds the assets. So when people say, well, it's smaller, it's not as safe as a bank, well, that argument isn't really there. The custodian is really the most important aspect of where your assets are held.
The bank uses generally their own trust company as the custodian. So you would have BMO Trust or a Scotia Trust. These are likely the custodians for the bank. The important part about all this, though, is the type of products that are being held. And so in many firms, there's going to be a lot of house products that are being held by the custodian. So it would be, for example, at one of the banks, many of their own products that they manufacture would be part of the portfolio solution, including pool fights that are going to be held by the custodian, as opposed to us, where we are actually buying products that are not manufactured by us, right? Our role is pure advisory. So again, it's another, to me, proof point of this safety argument. It's a much more diversified structure,
Right.
with no internal products being manufactured.
Yeah, we talk about it as open architecture, but the most important is open architecture without any manufactured products inside our portfolios that we've built.